I literally saw one TikTok. I saw one reel of this guy and it ruined my entire life. Hey everyone, it's Sunny and welcome to another book recommendation video, which I'm very excited about. I have been wanting to make this for such a long time. The book that finally tipped me over the edge. So today I'm going to be recommending books with the grumpy sunshine character dynamic in it. Listen, I'm actually not the hugest fan of this trope if it's done in a way that makes me like feel icky. What I mean by this is like, I don't really like it if like a guy is too grumpy, as in like he's just like angry, treats people terribly, including the sunshine. Like that just makes me like really uncomfy. And then also I don't like it when like a girl is like the sunshine and she is like manic pixie dream girl vibe. I'm not about that. So I'm very particular about the grumpy sunshine dynamics that I prefer. So for a lot of these, I consider the grumpy to be like stoic, like non-emotive, or like more reserved in comparison to sunshine. A little bit more extroverted, maybe like a little bit more like enthusiastic, but definitely not like manic pixie dream girl because we don't love those vibes here. And when those two personalities are like in a relationship together, then I like it. Such a sucker and I adore it so much. Okay, so we're gonna get started right away with the book that like So that book is Tokyo Ever After by 𝐬𝐸𝐸𝐸. I am so down bad. I'm so down bad for like the male lead in this. This book and the next book that I'm gonna talk about are actually also bodyguard trope. 1000% the reason that I love this book as much as I did is because in my head, I like fan casted a specific person to be Akio, the male lead. If you've been on my Instagram for like more than 0.25 seconds, you'll know the person that I'm talking about. I literally saw one TikTok. I saw one reel of this guy and it ruined my entire life. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. 𝐬𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐬. I'm gonna insert a picture right here. This is how I picture Akio. Tokyo Ever After is basically Princess Diaries, except the main character is Japanese American and she figures out that she's actually the secret daughter that no one knew about to the crown prince. And she just like packs ups and like goes away to this entire new world of like royalty, celebrity. First person that she meets is a guy named Akio and he is assigned to be her bodyguard. So basically he's just like her security personnel. I love their grumpy sunshine dynamic. He is very much like stoic kind of grumpy, as in like, I guess it goes hand in hand with the fact that this is a bodyguard trope, but like the whole thing about bodyguard is that the bodyguard isn't supposed to fall in love or have like any personal attachment, personal emotional attachment to the person that they're guarding aside from that person's like physical security, you know what I mean? Like you're not allowed to fall in love, you can't like become friends with them, you can't like get to know them and care about them like on a personal level. Like all you're there is to make sure that they don't die. Like if you have personal investment, that it could like screw up that dynamic. They meet on the plane. Oh my gosh, hold on a second, let me bust out my book journal for this because I definitely wrote this down. This book has like a slow dance scene. Our main character is a girl named Azumi and she literally says, when we met I thought you didn't like me. Right when they meet each other, they like butt heads. She definitely thinks that he hates her and like he definitely acts like he does. They're just kind of annoyed by each other at the beginning, if that makes sense. He's very much, like I said, like stoic, takes his job very seriously, and it makes complete sense why when you learn more about his family background and like the reason that he doesn't like really show his vulnerability. It makes complete sense and you learn that about him. Whereas Azumi is like teenage girl from America entering the royalty, which entails like learning courtesy. She literally has to go take etiquette classes. Homegirl has no clue. She like showed up in the airport with like a hoodie and like leggings and that really resonated with me, but like all the media like kind of popped off and they're like slandering her in the news. It's really hard for her to adjust considering the fact that she's already like bubbly, energetic. Her voice is so funny when you read it. Oh my gosh, she is such a dead ringer for this girl in my program. Always just like wants to have a fun time, just be friendly with the people around her, just like is always cracking jokes. She's very much the embodiment of just like the typical American teenager. Such contrast to Akio. This is very serious, like you can't just run away, like stuff like that. They have to spend time together so they kind of like learn more about each other and they kind of become friends. The thing that's so satisfying about grumpy sunshine is like seeing sunshine melting the grumpy, right? It's like the best part about this entire trope. It's just so satisfying to see Akio open up, but only to Azumi, only in like nighttime. Like there's so many like private nighttime conversation scenes in this book where it's like away from the public eye, and that's when you see Akio's true personality actually like cracking jokes or like opening up about his family, and Azumi being like, oh my gosh, there's this other side to this guy that like I've never known and he just never shows it to anyone. Like, and I'm very in love with Akio. I get so distracted. I'm so down bad. Anyway, Tokyo Ever After, highly recommend. Please read it so that we can go talk about it. Okay, the next book that I want to recommend, which is also like the second bodyguard trope book that I was talking about, is Shadow of the Fox by 𝐤𝐸𝐬𝐤. This one is fantastical, but it also takes place in like an East Asia inspired setting, which I love. Our two characters are a girl named 𝐬𝐸𝐬 and then this guy named Tatsumi. 𝐬𝐸𝐬's sunshineness comes from the fact that she's just very naive, and there's like a reason for that. It's like not annoying. She's half kitsune, which is like this magical creature, and so she's basically been like protected and brought up up in like this temple for her entire life. She's like literally never stepped foot outside of this temple and like has never encountered the real world. What happens at the beginning of this book is that her temple is like destroyed pretty much. It's like attacked because people are looking for this scroll, and so she takes the scroll and she runs away, and she has to bring the scroll to this specific place, right? That's where she crossed paths with Tatsumi. Similarly, he's also like a stoic kind of grumpy. Stoic but like on steroids. It's like actually borderline scary, very concerning. He's a warrior, like a specific, like notorious specific group of warriors, famously non-emotive, has to shut down their humanity, machines kind of. And so that's where his grumpiness comes from, the fact that he has just been brainwashed since he was a child. Obviously these characters are in immediate contrast to each other, and so obviously their paths cross. He was sent to go grab that scroll. This girl literally has a scroll inside of her backpack, and she's like looking at this guy and she's like, so then she decides to bamboozle him, and she says like, I know where the scroll is at this specific location, which is the location that she needs to bring the scroll to. And she says, okay, if you can bring me there, then I will give you the scroll. Little does he know, it's like reluctant travel companion trope, it's like physical quest trope, and it's like bodyguard trope. Like I said, you see a lot of like her naivety. Like this is literally her first time venturing into the outside world. Like that's why she needs protection. Like the homegirl has no clue what's going on. It's very much like giving me Tangled, dual POV. So from his chapter's perspective, throughout his interaction with Yumeko, he sees her and like starts to like care for her. You see like his walls breaking down and him being like, what is this feeling that I'm feeling, and like being confused. It's like the best character arc. Like it's so satisfying. From Yumeko's end, it's definitely like who did this to you trope. There's also like revealing the scars trope, tending to the wounds trope, and would recommend. And obviously I can't talk about Grumpy Sunshine without mentioning this book, which is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Me once again spreading my Six of Crows agenda. But obviously Six of Crows has many couples in it, and the one that I'm thinking about is Nina and Matthias. Very much a true enemies to lovers Grumpy Sunshine. Matthias belongs to like a group of witch hunters, and Nina is like one of the witches that they're supposed to hunt. Very much like their enemy. This book is told in like past, present, and in the present you know that they were like together at one point. Something happened, like this big betrayal happened, and it like completely shattered their relationship. Cut to the past and they're like arch enemy. They ended up getting shipwrecked together, so it's like forced proximity. Matthias is like the most grumpy character I've ever read about in my entire life. Nina is the best sunshine character. I love her. Everyone loves her, honestly. If you don't love her, I literally think that's sacrilege, but I don't really know. She's like so lighthearted. She loves like food. Like she just like honestly wants to just go eat waffles and hang out with her friends. Like that's like her entire personality. And during the time that they're together, she just has such a fun time like poking fun at him. You see Matthias being like, oh, I hate when you do this. I hate that we need to do this. And obviously it's like true at the beginning, but then you kind of see the relationship grow and they like warm up to each other like against their will. By the end, he keeps saying that, oh, he doesn't like this, but you know that that's not true. He actually does. That's like the Grumpy Sunshine dynamic here. Grumpy Sunshine, enemies to lovers, second chance romance, past, present, one bed trope, forced proximity. That's Nina and Matthias. Okay, the next book that I want to recommend is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This one is an adult contemporary romance, I'm pretty sure. Also enemies to lovers. It's very much giving me like Miley Cyrus' last song. She will be loved. Basically follow our main character. Her name's Kala. She's actually from Toronto. You know that I love because I'm a Canadian girl. Giving last song because she finds out that her father is terminally ill and she's been estranged to him like her entire life, but she decides to pack up everything and move to like the middle of nowhere where her father is in order to like meet him, get to know him, maybe salvage their relationship before it's like too late. And she goes to this Alaskan community. The pilot who takes her there is Jonah, and he hates her for no reason. Can I just say that at the beginning? Low-key, I was annoyed because this is the trope of like country boy meets city girl and thinks that she's like really posh, privileged, and like doesn't like that. Low-key, I don't like those vibes, but it's okay because it gets unpacked. It turns out that he's also a really close friend of her father's, and I'm pretty sure he's also like neighbors, and so he is the one who's like been designated to like show her around, like help her settle in, but they don't like each other. Jonah doesn't like her because of his snap judgments. Kala doesn't like him because he's being mean to her. That's The Simple Wild. Next, I won't talk too much about because I know that it's really popular. It became a movie starring Lucy Hale and Austin Stowell, so I know you know what book I'm talking about. It's The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Workplace enemies to lovers. Probably one of my favorite things about this book, the Grumpy Sunshine character dynamic, even more than the enemies to lovers relationship story arc. I just love their personalities together. It's like my favorite thing. 8,000,000% the reason for that is because of Josh Templeman. Our two main characters are Lucy and Josh. They're both like the personal assistants at this publishing company for like the two big bosses of the company. They literally work in like a room where their desks are like literally across the room room from each other. This is like something specific, but literally one of my favorite things ever in books is like if someone is notoriously never does something and then because of someone else you like see them do it for the first time. So Josh Templeman, he has honestly never smiled a day in his entire life. Like he just never smiles, never laughs. Smiling never does that. He's like notorious for it. Like so he's very grumpy like in that way. He takes his job very serious. Let me tell you, literally my two favorite scenes in this entire book are the scenes where Josh smiles for the first time and when he laughs for the first time. They're probably like my favorite scenes in the entire book. The entire book is told from Lucy's perspective, and like just the description for when he smiles for the first time, fireworks were like going off in my head because it was just like so spectacular. I loved it so much, and this book did it so well. I just love that. It's like such a good payoff. I literally took up like several pages in my book journal just writing that scene down word for word for word. Okay, and then the last book that I want to talk about in this book recommendation video is going to be These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Now this book, Grumpy Sunshine, not even the main couple. With the main couple is like, it's literally Romeo and Juliet retelling in 1920s Shanghai. That's all the couple that I'm thinking about with this trope. This one is sneaky because you would not know about this trope and this couple unless you actually read the book. This side couple that low-key is like the couple that I love the most and the reason that I continue to read this book, and I'm so excited because I'm pretty sure that the companion spin-off series is following these two people. That couple is, okay, so basically we have our two characters, right? Roma and Juliet. They each have like a circle of friends from their own gang, just like their inner circle. So if we go to Roma's inner circle, he has two friends named Marshall and Benedict. Now listen. Okay, first of all, like all bias aside, Marshall's literally the best character in this entire series and you can't tell me otherwise. He is the sunshine in this. So witty. He's the one always cracking jokes and trying to stay lighthearted. He's like golden retriever. Benedict, on the other hand, is not even that grumpy, but he's just like more solemn. Like he's more like reserved and just like takes his job like very seriously. Very, very loyal and like dependable. Oh, they're really, I don't know, I'm holding my fist as if it's like a mic. The way that these two care for each other, it's so good. They just care for each other like so much, and it's so evident in like their perspectives when you're like hearing their thoughts. Obviously like neither of them say anything out loud. I'm so excited for Foul Lady Fortune, which I think is the title of the series that's coming out. Okay, so that was the last book that I wanted to talk about in this video. Comment down below, let me know what other like Grumpy Sunshine book recommendations you have. Anyway, that's gonna be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already and push the notification bell to be notified every single time that I upload because you don't want to miss an upload. Follow me on Instagram at sunnykimchannel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.